Hello everyone. As we have started learning about the modules already, scripts, modules. So there are different types of various built-in modules and certain modules the user can also create in its own. So here, as you see, this is the first module that is being created. The module name is my module.py and here is the location where I have created the module. So it has first the print statement, then a variable test is assigned with a test string. Then in the function find index, we are trying to find the index of a value inside a sequence. Okay, this is the function and there is another one module. The name is intro .py and here is the location where it's created. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to import this my module to use this find index method or functions in it in the intro.py module. So how can we do that? So, mostly we are having here, let me just first go through the code here in the intro.py, what am I trying to achieve here. So in the courses list, we have 4 courses. Okay, and then in the index here the find index of my module is invoked to find out the index of the particular course. So this find index whose logic is written over here or whose definition is over here. So while calling this, it can find out the index of the particular course math inside the list, and then it's supposed to print the index. So let me just run the mymodule.py and after pressing F5 here, this is what I'm getting. So it had just a print statement, so because of that it's showing imported my module. So my module is now imported to the IDE. The next thing is that I should be able to, as it's imported, I should be able to run this code over here, this portion of the code. Control S F5. So first it imported the module, then next it found out the index math which is at index 1. So starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why it's returning 1 in the output. Now there is another way in which we can also create an import statement. So let's say each time you don't want to write such a bigger module name. Instead, you may want to use a shorter form of name, maybe like mm. So if you are changing the import statement in this format, import my module as the short format name, whatever any name you can give. And rather than having these two statements, I'm just changing the two statements in this format. So in place of my module, now you may use the shorter format name and then call the function find index, and let's run the code and see if it's working or not. Yes, it's working. So these are the different ways of importing the modules. Now I'm going to show you another format of importing module. So let's see here. So first we have the my module, then in here I'm trying to import whatever necessary function names or variable names that I want to import. So now the test and the find index, the local objects here, the function objects can be the function or can be the variable names as well. They are now available in the global space of the intro.py. So from the particular module you can import the function as well as the variable or any other arguments that you may have. Now what you can do, you have the same courses list. Now you'd want to find out the index and then next you want to print it. So let's see if this format is working or not. Yes, it's still doing the same thing. This is another way of importing the major necessary arguments or objects. And objects can be of any format. It may be function name or maybe the variables which are being used in there. Now let's say there is another concept I need to share with you, system.path. So there is one library called sys. So if you are able to import this system library, and then what it will do, if there isn't any matching built-in module found for the program, then the interpreter searches the list of directories contained in the system.path. So let me just run it and show you the output in here. So what it does the basic functionality of the code along with returning the system path. So it's now showing us all the listed directories. Okay. So where Python looks for all the modules when I try to run the import statement. Okay, so here as you see, the first argument is the directory where I'm now currently running the module. It's present here. As I told you, I have when I created the intro.py as well as the other module, my module. So both of them are created in this directory. See user Somyashri Sahu inside the modules. That is why it's showing all those set of directories available. That's the first value. And the rest of the values, the next instances in the list, are the other directories which are available to the Python environment variable. And one thing, see, let's say at certain point of time, let's say you will suppose change the location of your modules or scripts anywhere. You change the location, suppose to from one directory to other directory. So in that case, you might have to set the environment variable. Okay, that is called as Python path. So for setting the Python path, it may be different in the Windows platform, maybe different in the Mac platform or in other Linux platform as well. So anytime you need to set the Python path, you need to search for, just do a simple Google search and try to find out how to set the Python path in your given operating system in which you may be working. So let me show you something. Suppose we have this my module. Here I'm trying to change the location of the my module from the modules folder for modules directory to the Python package here. Okay. So when I change it, am I able to execute the code or not? Let me show you that. Okay, so I need to uncomment this. Okay, now let me try to run the code. Okay, so first, these are some of the additional statements that I need to explain it to you. So before that, let's see whether it runs or not. Yeah, it's running. Okay, so let me first comment all these out. Okay. Yeah, so here see what happens. Suppose say you have the statement like this. From the my module, you are trying to import the function as well as the argument test. Now you have the courses list. Then you want to find out one elements index through the find index. Then you want to print the index. Okay. So previously actually I have commented that, so that's why it was not showing that. But let me do it again. No problem. So what is happening here? So first when it tries to look for the my module, as I changed the location of my module from the modules folder to Python package, so that is why now the change that has been done, that is not being tracked. So because of the tracking issue, it's showing it couldn't find the module that my module that we have been looking for. So how to solve it? You can just simply add this extra statement, import sys, and here always while running a program code in the Python, it always try to look in the system path wherever the module resides or located. So in it, you can, if you are not sure about the path, then you can do it in this way. Go to the module, then copy the location. Let's say you want to find this one, right? So copy the location from here and just paste it in this way. And so that you are appending or adding this location to your system path. So whenever you are going to execute this code, it's supposed to look for the my module inside the path that we used here. Okay. So after saving and running it, yeah, so see, it's now showing it correctly found out the modules and it imported that. Okay. So let me see if these extra statements are running or not. Yes, they are running successfully. The index as well as the system path, everything is sorted out correctly. Mm, okay. So these are some of the format of finding the modules at different directories, different places in your computer in various platforms. And then each time you change, one thing I need to mention, each time you change the location of the modules anywhere, you need to set up a Python path. So how to do it? Go to start menu, look for the my PC, and in it right click on it, go to properties, advanced system setting. So the thing that I'm showing you here, it's basically for Windows. So as I explained, it's different for other platforms as well. So if you are using Mac, you need to find out what the appropriate steps for Mac. So it's basically for Windows. Then go to environment variables. Then here I have already created this Python path. Okay, for my module, as I have changed the location to Python package inside module, so I have already added. So you have not added. So in that case, what are you supposed to do? New, mention the variable name as Python path. Okay, then in the variable value, you need to yeah, copy this location from here and then paste it here. Okay, so when you will click OK, that will be added like this, the way it has been added in my PC. I'm going to cancel it because I have already added it. So this is how you can provide the Python path. So any path you mention, any path you provide, while running the code, it will go on searching that path and then execute your code. So these are something about some the example about the user created module. So let's say there are certain built-in modules such as like your sys or your math module, where you may remember we have used so many math functions imported from the math module. We have time module, time library as well. So I'm going to use one random library. So in it we have this courses list, and each time I run the code, this 4 lines of code, it will show some random courses. So let me just run it and see if it's working or not. So now see, it just picked up one random course from the list that have been provided here. So when I again run the code, so the random function now will be able to fetch another one random course from here. Let me do it again. So now it shows another one random course. So this is something in which you don't have to worry about the logic behind the random, because the library or the module has been already created. You just have to import the library and use the specific function that you need to use. So these are different ways of finding modules. Okay.